Hey, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I removed my 3-week-old acrylic set in the least damaging way I know possible. I'm going to jump into it and show you some of the things that I use to make my life easier. The first thing I used was a nail drill, then something to soak my hands in. Then I'm going to need some 100% pure acetone, castor oil to protect your skin, and a whole ton of patience because this could be a daunting process. Oh, and something to watch. Then you're gonna need some water. It has to be warm. Mine wasn't that warm, so I did warm some in my pot. And don't make them too hot because you don't want your hands to feel uncomfortable. And then we're ready. The first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of that shiny layer that is supposed to protect the acrylic. We need to do this step because we need to have access to the acrylic when we soak our nails in acetone. I ended up switching the drill bit because I wanted something that had a little bit more aggressiveness to it because I wanted to shine off as much as possible so that my soak time wasn't as much. So once that's done, I'm gonna move to my least dominant hands, which requires a little bit more patience. But then once that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and cut them up until where my nail starts. And this is also gonna help reduce the soak time. The next step, which I recently discovered, is to add some castor oil all over your hand. This is going to prevent those acrylic stains from getting onto your hand and just prevent you having to scrub them down really hard at the end to get them off. Remember how I said you're going to need patience? Well, here's where it comes into play. You're going to need to soak them on different occasions for a total of about 3 to 4 times, depending on how much you are able to get off in that first buff down. After the 5-minute soak, you're gonna just push down the gooey layer, which is everything that the acetone kind of soaked up, and you're gonna just push that off till you're left with like that hard part. It should look something like this. Then we're gonna go in with a buffer and just try to get it as flat as possible and remove all that sticky layer so that we can tackle the next layer of hard acrylic. Next, we're gonna go in for a second soak. I highly recommend that you set a 5-minute timer because it's gonna be tempting to pull your hand before it's had enough time to soak. This time around, I used a towel to catch all that soaked up old acrylic. I personally am one of those people that if the cleanup process is too difficult, I am not going to reattempt this. So I highly recommend that you also try this technique because it's going to make your cleanup a whole lot simpler. In this second soak, I'm just pushing off those, again, gooey layer. I know I keep calling it that, but removing all that acrylic so that I can get back to the hard part. We're going to repeat this a few more times till we have all the acrylic off. We're going to give this one more soak, and once we have that last but one soak, I'm going to try to get underneath that acrylic, and it should be easy to push off. Anything that is difficult to push off and it's going to hurt, leave it, because we're going to soak it one last time. Now with that process, I was able to get acrylic off most of it, and those three I didn't soak and just soaked the fingers that still had the acrylic on them. And this is what they look like with most of the acrylic off. This time for my real nails, I'm gonna go in with the buff and block because I want to be as gentle as possible. Once we have most of the acrylic off, we're gonna go ahead and soak them in water. I'm gonna be using that same water from earlier, and we're gonna soak them for a little bit. And then I'm also gonna throw in some castor oil because I want to restore as much moisture as I can back to my nails and my hands. From here, it's just going to be your regular manicure. So pushing back all that acrylic layer or whatever is left. And then we're also going to cut out our cuticles. Again, if you don't know how to do this, I highly recommend that you don't do this step. You can just, at this point, if you're in between appointments, you can just wait for them to do this. Because if this is not done properly, it leads to a lot of hangnails. And it took me a long time. Not hangnail, sorry, hang skin, like one of those things that pulls off till you're down your elbow. So if you don't know how to do this, I highly recommend that you do skip out on this step because it can lead to more problems than it's worth. So as I bring this manicure to the end, I'm gonna just wash off my nails with a toothbrush because I want to just rub off all the excess oils and all that extra junk from my nails to keep them as clean as possible. And then I'm gonna just give them a wipe down. Then I'm gonna go in with some nail polish, and that will be it. The final step will be to add some cuticle oil to restore that moisture back to your nails, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you like videos like this, be sure to tune in and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye, sunshines.